everybody. This is Lunar of Lunar Witch Stitchery. My pronouns are they, them. I hope that you're all doing well today. As you can tell, I'm in a pretty good mood today, so I'm really excited to bring you guys this end of April Flosstube update. So let's just get into it. If y'all are new here, I will be doing a life update before I get to the actual, whip stuff. So if you're not interested in that, you can just go ahead and click ahead. I will leave chapters in the video bar. So hello once again. I had a pretty eventful, I guess, past couple of weeks. Pretty shortly after I filmed my last Flosstube video, one of my best friends actually got married, so that was really cool. She actually got married last fall in Disney, but most of us weren't able to go. So she had a little reception vow renewal type deal mid-April. So that was super fun. Ruben and I got to go and hang out with all of our best friends, and it was honestly really fun. So that was a good way to kick off the second half of the month. Unfortunately, I did have something that kind of slowed me down for a few days. If you guys know, I'm really into K-pop, and if y'all are on the internet at all, you may have seen that there was actually a K-pop idol who passed away recently, and unfortunately he was from one of Ruben and I's favorite groups. His name was Moonbin. He was me and Ruben's favorite from that group actually too, and I have been following that group since they debuted in 2016, and they've always been very important to me. I know if some of you guys aren't into K-pop or you don't really know much about the community, it might be weird that, or it might seem weird that a lot of us are so upset over somebody that we don't know passing away, but with these K-pop groups, they put themselves out there so much that it feels like you know them, and they spend so much time interacting with fans and showing so many different parts of their lives and personalities that it really does feel like losing a friend. So that's really difficult. In true mom fashion, my mom just called, and we talked for 20 minutes, and I have no idea what I was saying before this. So sorry for the abrupt transition. I think I might have been talking about Moonbin. I don't remember what I said, but basically, I spent a few days being really upset about that. I'm not over it or anything, but I'm at a point where I'm not crying all day anymore, so that is a pretty big improvement. Otherwise, as some of you may know, I am the event planner at my job, and we have a huge event coming up at the beginning of May. So I've been really busy with that, trying to herd all the cats. We do artist markets kind of, and it is so difficult to get a hold of everybody that I need to get a hold of. So that's what I've been doing. I'm really excited for that to be over. I'm not as anxious as I was about it last year, since now I've got a couple of these under my belt, but it still is just a really big thing, and it's a really long day. So I'm excited for that to be done. Other than that, today actually in my area there was a rock and gem show, and I had so much fun. Ruben and I went with our best friend, and we got a couple of things. Ruben got a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't have that in here since it's not mine, but I just got a couple things I thought I would share with you guys. So this is citrine. This is basically heat-treated amethyst. So as you guys might know, amethyst is actually a purple crystal, but this is the color that it turns if it is exposed to sunlight or heat, and it's a different thing now. So this is called citrine. It has some of the raw rock, which I think is really cool. So I got that. I really like citrine. I have quite a few pieces of it. I also got this flat little piece of, this is called lepidolite. It's kind of like a flaky kind of stone, kind of like graphite or something like that. I also have oh my goodness, a pillar of this. So this is what it looks like when it's all like tumbled and shined up. But this is it raw. So that's that. It's very sparkly. I love it so much. And I also got a geode. This is a type of agate. The guy who sold these, he has a place in Arizona where he does a bunch of digging. And this is called night sky agate. And I believe it's like either a newer discovery or just a rarer discovery. I got a really cheap piece of it, but some of the really expensive ones had like, if you can see, there's like all these speckles and then this like kind of quartz around. Instead of it being clear, it was like really dark navy blue. But I cannot afford to spend $200 on a rock. This was like $30. So that's a little bit more in my price range. So the outside of it is really cool too. But yeah, that was our fun today. I don't know if any of you guys are into rocks, but I have quite the collection. So does Ruben. So yes. Okay, that is all I have for life stuff. I hope that wasn't too long. Let's get into my whips. So I have a couple gals here to show you today. First up is going to be my Dark Queen of the Earth stitch along. This, as always, is being hosted by Autumn Lane Stitchery and Under the Sea Fabrics. This is where she was at the last time you guys saw her. And then this is where she is now. So I have done quite a bit here. This swirly branch, this is part 7. I did complete part 7. So that's all done. I don't really think that you can tell on camera. I did make a substitution. The 841, the lightest color in the swirly branch, I mixed with one strand of a metallic floss. But I think that's the only like major change that I made. And then as you can see, my queen has a face. Oh my god, I love her so much. So this is from part 8. Part 8, we got her face and her hair. I have quite a bit to do still, but the reason I haven't done it is because of a few reasons. One, we are supposed to at some point be getting a like hair color conversion pack. That still hasn't been released yet. It was supposed to come out sometime in April, but we just haven't got it yet. So I'm still waiting for that until I'm waiting until we get that to stitch the hair. I do really like the already charted like red hair. I think it works really well for her, but I just want to see all of my options before I commit to one, because it is a lot of stitching and I would hate to rip it out. Yes, also there's a lot more back stitching that needs to be done. As you can see, I only did like her lips and the neck lines. This is just because a lot of the back stitching overlaps with like parts of the hair, and I didn't want the back stitching to get in the way once I go in to do the hair, so I'm just gonna wait on that. I did actually make a lot of changes with this. You probably won't be able to tell that much. One, this red color in the flowers, I accidentally did a shade darker than it was supposed to be. If you can see on her lips, the upper lip is dark and the lower lip is light. The dark color in the flowers is supposed to be that lighter lower lip color. I somehow accidentally made it the darker one. But after I realized it, I was like, you know what? It looks fine like this, so I'm just gonna leave it. So I did. You also might be noticing I did her skin over 1. This is my first time doing like a face or anything like that over 1. I had a really fun time with it, actually. People really complain about skin over 1, and I totally get why. It's really tedious, and it was really hard on my eyes, but it just looks so nice, and I'm really happy with it. I think it was really satisfying to do. I just really love how it came out. Other substitutions, her eyes. The called for color was the very lightest yellow. in the flowers. I actually subbed it out for the Rainbow Gallery Silk Lame that's used in other places in this project, specifically like in these little log holes is where it's used, and I just thought that that would be cool. I did her whole face 1/1 full cross, but because the Silk Lame comes in like a braid, it was kind of too big for me to do it 1/1 full cross, so I did 1/1 half cross instead, just for the eyes. And then for her neck thing, that also just called for like regular yellow floss, and I subbed in the yellow petite treasure braid that we're using in other places in this project. I just thought it looked cool, so that is what I did. So that is where she's at right now. She's just a floating head. I also, if you guys haven't been around or whatever, I haven't done her torso yet because I'm waiting to see if/when we get a topless version of her. I just want to see what it looks like before I make a decision on that. So yeah, that's where we're at. Today when I'm filming is April 30th, so we're supposed to be getting part 9 tomorrow. I have no idea what it could possibly be, honestly. We have a lot of like random parts left. So yeah, honestly, I'm just hoping for the hair pack at this point. That's what I'm really anxious for. So that was a lot of talking about this project. Oh, I didn't even mention, this is being stitched 2/2 on 32 count nightshade linen from Under the Sea Fabrics. But yeah, I love her so much. I spent so much time on this project. I think it took me like 3 days to do her face, which is pretty good considering I was doing it over one. This is a lot of over one stitches. And again, I don't know if you guys can tell, but there's so many different shades of green in there. She's going to be absolutely slaying once I get the back stitching in too. I haven't looked at this piece in a while, so I'm like all excited about it again. Okay, next up we have Princess Serenity. This is charted by Make It Pink. The original art is by Hannah Alexander. Here's where it was at last time, and then this is where I was able to get to this time. Sorry about that thread in the way there. If you can see over here, I was able to make it to the hem of her dress, which is incredible. It's not quite like the bottom of things. Let me show you what I mean. So, sorry, I'm just getting it pulled up here. So over here on this side is where I've hit the hem, and as you can see, it does go quite a lot farther down, and there's also just a ton more dress to do. So I'm technically at the bottom, but it doesn't really feel like it. This is 16,546 stitches, which is awesome, and that is putting me at 31.15%. I did finish this color that I was in the middle of, and I started on the next one. And as you can see, I have gotten to some crazy bead sections, and I'm having so much fun with this. This has kind of become like my comfort stitch, which is really funny because it's honestly quite challenging, just with all the fractional stitches. But yeah, I love this stitch so much. I'm honestly going to be really sad when it's done, because it's just so much fun for me. But yeah, I don't have too much to say about her aside from the fact that I'm just like really geeked that I got to that edge of her dress. It finally feels like I'm making some headway on this. I did have a tentative goal of getting her to 40% by the end of April. But I actually fixated so hard on my Dark Queen of the Earth that I just like didn't pick up Serenity for a little while. I think I took like 2 weeks off from stitching her, so I did not get near as much progress in on her as I thought that I would, but honestly that's so fine. I don't even care. And last up is a girly that we have not seen in a hot minute. This is Odile. This is by Make It Pink and Hannah Alexander, just like my last design. Oh my god, hold on. Hold on. This is being stitched 2/2 on 36 count linen in Aphrodite from Under the Sea Fabrics. I forgot to say that. Anyway, Odile, here is where she was at the last time you guys saw her, which would have been in like November. And then this is where I got her to this time. So I was working in a different area, as you can see. I had been working down on this, but I decided I wanted to start working up because I know I have a lot of mistakes in this area, and it was honestly really putting me off from working on this. So I thought that I would start from somewhere that I knew was correct, and then I'm going to work my way over to fix whatever the fuck is going on over here, and then it will be fine. This is being stitched 2/2 on 36 count opalescent linen in Rose Murda from Under the Sea Fabrics. Oh, numbers. Where's my phone? I didn't put in too much work on her. This is now at 7.80%. I think I did like 200 or 300 stitches on her and that was it. I did leave her on the Q-snap because I think I want to go back to her. But yes, I have quite a few thoughts on this piece. So first off, I worked up this little medallion. What a pain in the ass that was. This medallion, the yellow is stitched with some DMC satin, and the silver in the middle is stitched with Light Effects. I despised my time working with Light Effects. The satin was okay. It did knot up a fair bit, but you know, it wasn't too unreasonable, but the Light Effects was just horrible. The last time I talked about Light Effects, some people in my comments were like, oh, you know, some of them are better than oh, maybe it was Krynic that I was complaining about. But the last time I talked about metallic, some people were like, oh, not all of them are so bad. Some of them are okay, but I despise Light Effects. It's awful. I think the Krynic braid even is better than that, and I hated working with the Krynic braid too. So I think in the future, anytime I see Light Effects, I am absolutely going to be converting to Petite Treasure braid or Krynic braid at the very least. But yeah, I think this was like 20 stitches of Light Effects, and I wanted to die the whole time. So that is my feelings on that. Otherwise, I found an insane amount of mistakes in this, which is fine. If you folks don't know, this was my first ever linen piece, and it was my first Pretty Lady. This was started in like March of 2022. I actually pulled this out because it was this piece's birthday, like I said, recently-ish. And I just didn't really get around to working on her until like 2 days ago. So, but yeah, anyway, there's just so many mistakes, and it's all like off by, I don't know, like a quarter of a stitch, half a stitch. But it's enough that it's like I have to use some brain power to figure out how to fudge it. And I don't even think you can tell anything is wrong here. And that's fine. I posted this to the Make It Pink support group, and one of my acquaintances on there was like, what mistakes are you talking about? It looks fine. But, yeah, really my only issue is just that, like, it takes extra brain power to figure out, okay, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to make this look right? So yeah, you know, that's fine. I think I just need to finish working around this brown section, because this kind of outline of this part was the very first stuff that I did on linen, and there are definitely mistakes. So once I get past that and I know that my counts are correct, I think it will be a little bit easier to deal with. Yeah, I didn't mind working on her though. I did keep her on the Q-snap because I think I am going to pick her back up for another couple days. I would like to get over to where I have this other red section parked, to try to figure out what's going on over there. I believe that's finally everything I have to talk about for whips. So let's get into plans because I don't have any purchases. I really thought this was going to be a shorter episode, but my audio recording is at like 22 minutes already, and I have a fair bit to talk about for plans. So a couple of things. First off, like I mentioned earlier, Dark Queen of the Earth Part 9 comes out tomorrow, so I will be hopefully working on that and maybe completing it. That would be really cool. If we do get any of the other missing parts of the queen that I mentioned earlier, like the hair pack or the topless version, I will also be looking at doing those bits. I did have another project birthday recently, my full coverage piece, Magic Study. Its birthday was April 22nd, so it's 1 year old now. I have a pitiful, like, 2,000 stitches in that piece. I haven't got around to working on that one yet either, but as you will see, I am planning to pick it up. So, as we all know, May is coming up. If you've been around the Flosstube community for some time, Stitch Mania is a event that a lot of folks still participate in, even though I don't think it's like an official event anymore. And if you're not familiar, it's basically the original idea, I think, was that you start a new project every single day for the whole month. And folks have kind of like taken that and adapted it to, whatever suits their fancy. Personally, I don't want to call it Mania, so I'm not going to. And two, I don't need any help starting new projects. So that's not what I'm going to do. I'm actually taking this idea from Rachel Ray, who's one of my favorite Flosstubers. I'm sure that most of you guys have heard of her. Last May, she did something that she called May-stravaganza, and on her Twitch, she did whip sprints. So she went through all of her whips, and she worked on every single one of them, I think for like 30 minutes or something. And that way she was kind of able to touch everything and like, at least get a little bit of work in on every single whip, without spending like a ton of time on each of them. She has a lot more whips than I do, so I think I have around 12. I am kind of considering like doing something similar where I work on all my whips, but I think I want to do like a full day working on each of them. Just like a couple hours. I usually stitch for like about 3 hours in the evenings. So that's what I've been thinking. I think I'm going to go like in chronological order with my whips. So hopefully the next time I film, I will have a whole bunch of whips to show you. Honestly, I'm really excited about it. So I'm looking over at like one of my really old whips I haven't touched in a while. So yes. That's what I'm planning to be doing. Let me know down in the comments if you guys are doing anything special for May, if you're doing something like this, or if you're doing new starts. Let me know. So this is more of an announcement than a plan. I wanted to let you guys know that after like a year of tossing this around, I have decided that I'm going to be opening an Etsy shop to sell project bags. It's not currently open, so you will not find it down in my description. I'm still kind of like easing into it. There's a lot of like setup, and I also need to like make product. So that's a thing. I'm really excited. My partner has been trying to persuade me into doing this for quite some time. I've been really nervous about it because like the tax aspect of it is really intimidating, and just like other things as well are really intimidating about it. But I don't know, I'm just feeling like really called to sell on Etsy all this stuff. And some of you guys have expressed interest in my comments before about buying project bags. I do make them, like all the ones that you guys have seen. Actually, I don't think I showed them, but I make them big enough to fit a 10x10 Q snap, which from what I have seen is kind of difficult to find. But yeah, I'm going to be selling project bags. I might branch out into needle minders one day, but that's not really like my main focus. I'm mainly a seamstress, so that's what I'm hoping to do. I'm also going to be focusing on more of like an alternative and gothic aesthetic rather than like the same kind of stuff that you can find from other vendors. Not that there's anything wrong with that. I just want to do the stuff that I like, and the stuff that I feel is missing from the community, or like less represented in the community. So that's what I'm going to be doing. We just went through, we have like a spare room in our apartment, and it's where my sewing stuff is. And we just went through that room, cleared it out, made it like more habitable for me to be in. So I have a few personal projects that need to get taken care of first, but I am hoping to start making some bags. Yeah, I'm really, really excited. I still have a lot of steps before I'm ready to start taking orders. But I still just wanted to let you guys know that that is something that is in the works and that I am really excited about it. So yes. If there is anything that you folks feel is missing from the stitching community that you think would be a good product for me to make and or sell on my Etsy shop, please let me know. I would also like to include some LGBTQ products. I think that would be really cool. Yeah, I don't know. We will see. I'm not sure entirely what I'll branch out into besides project bags, but again, if you have any suggestions, just feel free to let me know. All right, and I believe that is everything I have to talk about. I just got to the end of this video and I realized I forgot to turn my fan off. So I'm not going to re-record this, but I'm sorry. Anyway, I hope that you all enjoyed the start of spring. Here in Wisconsin, we just got snow today, so I hope it's a little warmer where you are. Enjoy your stitchy projects, and I will talk to you next time. Bye!